Caner Universe, it is Caner Tip Tuesday. Today we're looking at the lost pressure points of cane self-defense. Is there really such a thing? We're going to take a closer look. It's timely because next week we have the American Cane Boxing Winter Cane Immersion here, the certification. We're so excited about that. Some of you watching right now, we're gonna get hands-on here at the headquarters, but it's a request that we often get, the concept of pressure points and the cane. And so before we jump into that, as always, a warm welcome to everyone. Those of you that have been following us from day one, as well as those who are new to the culture, go ahead and hit, if you like the content, hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon so that you don't miss any future content, and avail yourself of that no cost cane clarity call by texting the letter CCC to 305-745-7839 in less than 24 hours. We will be on a call and answer all your questions regarding cane training and give you something viable so that you can really hit your goals. And this whole idea of pressure points and cane self-defense, I remember 30 years ago, right? This thing, the canes and the work that was done on the shaft at one point, where we're looking at how to angle any work that was done here for the purpose of targeting certain pressure points. What we learned is tactically you got to get down to the basics. This is an impact tool, and an impact tool, you always hear me say it targets bone. Right? And so the best use of this continues to be, pressure points are so fine. Is there really a place for it? Is there really a place? So I want to be clear. Our number one option is always more so anatomical targeting, where we're striking, which is typically going to be bones. But is there a place for this and pressure points? And this is, this is an ACB cane. I don't have much work done. It is an octagonal shaft, but I don't have any work done there. I'll show you how and how it might come into play. Let's just say that. By the way, I taught both systems. I know it from the perspective of just Western anatomy, but I also know the Chinese system. So for those of you that train with pressure points and that kind of thing, I'll allude to it briefly. But when you do something like, he throws a quick shot here, and I respond down, and I move in there. If you go, and let's get a little bit closer, if you go to about a thumb width above the elbow, you're going in the Chinese system, it's a triple warmer channel, and you go in there and rub, you're gonna get that kind of a response. When you have that cane going through there, and you come up here and lock, that sets it up already. And of course, if I go behind the head with a strike, you have gallbladder points, that's not really what I'm looking for. My intent is not, I'm gonna hit that triple warmer first, followed by that gall. That's the way this particular application is put together, but this back here is one of those that, and by the way, when we're talking about a pressure point, convergence of more than, you have a nerve plexus or more than one nerve meeting there, so it's gonna be more sensitive, so to speak. But anything up here, notice that I don't go up to the meaty portion of the tricep. That's not where I'm going. It's a little bit lower than that. And then when I move, it has that natural rub to it to bring all the way down and then create the distance there. That's how it was originally put together. Does it work when you don't have the cane? Of course it does. So that if I go in here and I come in, where I lock up is always, see that? And he gives you that quick tap. This is rubbing, this is coming in here right on it, and you can hyperextend that elbow as well. That's one way to do it. If we go to, let's do it from here. If I continue on that limb, something like anything where he throws a shot here, and I come out, I take out the shin, I come back down. If I slide down the hand, if I slide down the radial portion here of his arm, if I slide down here, once I move down, I'm doing it here with the shaft, and I move into there. Yeah, that radial point. So the way that you can find it is if you go 3 finger width on the thumb side. In the Chinese system, it's a lung point. Those of you that train in martial arts, you know, any one of the Aikido arts and jiu-jitsu and whatnot, that grip that goes in there, that's designed to attack the radial nerve there. You can do it also with the cane in anything from a wrist. So I'm coming here, he grabs that wrist, or he does anything, and I strike down here and attack, and now come down, right? But I'm gonna bring him off. Notice that you're always here if you needed to escalate that. So you have 2 points right there. One that is behind the elbow, that thumb width, above the elbow. And when we say above an anatomical position, we're always referring to anatomical position, which is this. You're going above, right? You rub that point. If you slide down, you can do it with the hand as well. You can do that with the cane as well, right? And here's something that's really neat. Come back on this side. If you go to tilt the camera there for me, thank you. If you go to the limb down here and you go to the medial malleolus, the ankle here, the ankle bone, you go about 3 finger widths there. That also can serve as a pressure point. In the Chinese system, it's a spleen point. Now, we don't go looking to necessarily target that, the bony area, yep, that the knee is, but if you're ever jammed, you can move from here to here, and he happens to throw a kick and you catch it there, right, and you come down. If you take that cane and come right through, and folks, you don't need a lot of pressure. I'm gonna be real light, I'm gonna be very gradual. Kiko, that's it, he's already feeling it. I'll do it with my hand, I'm attacking it with the base of my index finger. That area there is generally very sensitive. Now, I'm not gonna, this is in the event he throws a kick. I have shown it exactly, and you caught it here. When you go down, you're looking to jam that second leg so he doesn't hit, and you're going right across. I'll show you, go face up. So if I'm here, I can step on that other foot to jam it. I can also control to get him face down, and I'm still attacking that, right? You see that it puts you in that advantageous position. One way to attack that area, and you may or may not have seen it, is you have it in one of the applications where he's stepping through, right? He's coming in here. You're dealing usually with a longer cane. You let it bypass you. Whoa, and you attack it here. So I'm stepping on his foot. Tilt that a little more there for me, please, so that when I put the cane down, I'm attacking. I loosen up here because otherwise it's going to damage the ligaments, but I like that because anywhere I hit here, it's going to affect his mobility, okay? It's going to affect his ability to get up and chase me, right? So, it's not the primary targeting system, this whole idea of pressure points. I don't believe that tactically seeking that and trying to, fine tune it, with something so specific, I don't think that's the way it works there. General knowledge, yes, you're in a situation, you're up close, you know that there are areas of the body that if you put that cane, it can, one word, it can give you a better response. A word of caution here. When individuals are going to vary in their response to how sensitive they are. If they're under the effects of drugs and or alcohol or just pure adrenaline, we have seen it, folks, to the point where even when you're hitting bone and you shatter something, at that moment, it may not be enough to stop that threat. And what I'm saying with that is they can take a hit, even to bone, and keep going, and they might be cracked. That's why I'm so big on taking out the limbs, the attacking limb, to take out the wheels, because then you can't further the attack, whether they feel it so much at that moment. When you take that out, when you get hit and that leg starts quivering, this starts happening. You start hobbling, bigger on that. But that's just to give you an idea. Those points, they're sensitive. They do exist there. And if you put your cane over there and you know what you're doing, yes, it can be effective in that sense. And so it's a course of study. We'll take a look at more of this next week here. We begin on Tuesday night with the bonus. Believe it or not, we still have one opening for it. If you think it's very short notice, I think we close registration, but if you've been trying to communicate with us on that, we'd still like to give you information on it and see if it's something that is for you, especially if you're in the Florida area. And the way to do that is to text winter, text the word winter 2022 to 305-745-7839. Let's have a conversation and see if that's something that would work for you, okay? And folks, thank you so much for watching. Keep caning and stay safe.